What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Cutlass Board Games channel, and welcome back to the Diablo 2 Hardcore modded run. We've got a whole bunch of mods that make the game harder. We've got a whole bunch of cool extra crafting stuff added, and with the added difficulty of if a hardcore character dies, normally you can't play it anymore, but if a hardcore character dies, I can't play that class anymore. If I run out of all the classes, I lose forever. And I just never get to play Diablo 2 ever again. That's the plan. So far we are actually doing okay. We made it into Act 3 Hell difficulty with the assassin before finally it died. Part of that's my fault because I changed up the mods. It had been several months since we started the challenge, and I wanted to see if cool new stuff had been added. Cool new stuff had been added, but when I loaded the cool new stuff, some mods that didn't install correctly the first time, like when I very much started the series, loaded, and so the landscape of the game was kind of drastically different, and I got caught unawares by a few things. For example, the run speed of a lot of enemies has been greatly increased, so they can just kind of run at you and spook you a little bit. Just use an explosive arrow. Girl, you gotta be using that like way more often. That shit was great. Where's that energy been all this time? She must have just got it from leveling up. Yeah, see, what the hell? Oh yeah, also I do cold damage now. Because of this. That's good. That's great. Slowing them down is great. Alright, Disfigured. This is my #1 hated mob in the game. Okay, that's not quite right. It's not my #1 hated, it's my #1 feared. #1 hated is Gloam. It's really irritating. Drink that. Pick this up. Grab that bow. But it's mostly because that lightning attack does like infinite damage in some of the mods that I've played. And some of them have been like greatly increased cast rate and stuff like that as well. So just kind of sit there and shoot out a million lightning bolts at you when you explode. Which is stressful. I haven't actually been that bad in this run. Also in Scrabble mod, they all have conviction on also. So you don't even see them on screen, you just gain conviction, like your resistances are lowered from the paladin aura. And you're just like, oh no, here they come. Which is horrendous. It's kind of a horrible experience, really. I can't even tell if I'm angling that correctly. Oh, there's a whole bunch of them. Okay, I'll grab these. New. Just need one socket. Okay. One socket? We don't care. 3 sockets? Yeah, maybe. Okay. Just shoot all my arrows into a wall. Don't worry about it. Okay. Okay. So far, so good. Where's the waypoint? It's over here. No, just shooting it directly into the wall is really hard, apparently. I hear a spirit? Must be in a courtyard kind of area. Or not? I swear I heard it. Okay, so far so good. Being able to stand there and know that I won't explode and shoot arrows slightly quicker is pretty good. get to put a good amount of hit stun, and also because of the cold damage, I get to slow them down a bit, which is pretty good. And then she's just putting like a ton of poison damage on and stuff. That's her job. Ooh, also, I want to be mindful of when I hit level 17 because I have a rune word armor to wear, which isn't actually that good an armor, but it's better than what I have on currently. What? Come here. Alright. This was the wrong one. Okay. I'm always paranoid that when I open a door, a bunch of guys are going to run out and start hitting me. But they don't actually tend to place stuff too close to these doors. They do place them close to the front, like the first two doors that you open with the closer. So I guess it's probably fine, but I don't know. I live in a world of paranoia. Did we get the shaman? We did not get the shaman. I have to back up a little bit. I was going to be here as well. Jeez. Okay. Okay, there's another one. Sick. It's a whole little colony. What's going on? It's the Devilkin hangout. I'll tell you what though, playing this game with increased monster density is great. It feels so much better. See what I mean? They revive so fast. I mentioned in the last episode that we encountered a Carver shaman. And there was like 3 or 4 of them, but they were just shooting fireballs. They weren't reviving guys. But the Devilkin like revive. It's like so fast. It's hard to keep up. There's more of them. That's like number 7. Ah. They were standing there waiting for me. I can't hit them for some reason. It's really annoying that I have to come and stand in here. Okay, I have to heal or I will die. I'm just face tanking like a lot of projectiles right now. Okay, so far so good. 15. I'm still a little while away from a new skill. Oh! There's a lot of guys right there. Right here. There's just like a lot of guys in general, actually. I am running low on potions too. Nothing too crazy here. I'll grab this. Okay. Act 1 normal difficulty is kind of slow. I mean, for this like specific setup that I have of mods, I think that's fine. Like the added monster density and XP per minute means that you kind of hit your skills quicker than vanilla, at least, which is not that bad. Oh, I got one guy. I was just shooting that out for the light source, which I think makes up for it a little bit, but it would be nice if there was a little bit more going on, custom-wise. Okay. Yeah, conviction. Doesn't actually do anything. I already have max negative resistances, but it's still scary to see a mage with conviction. Yeah, I don't know, because sometimes, and one of the things that's been really disappointing about this experience is that if you play Diablo 2 not resurrected, all the mod sets, there's a lot of very unique stuff where you can find characters with whole new skills, like that are not anywhere near stuff that's in the game already. And there's just none of that with the resurrected mods. In Scrubber mod, you can have your hireling transform into a panda, which is really cool. And then he hits people with a bamboo stick. It's really cool and unique and different. You can't have anything like that in resurrected mods. Everything is just changing maths about the game for the most part, which is a bit disappointing. And I would just play it on the original one, but it doesn't work on my computer very well. It crashes a lot. There's a lot of stability issues in general. Scrabble has this one problem where when things that you fight die, they have a chance to cast spells on death. Some of them are like really common, like druid elemental skills, like all of the Moon Clan and stuff will cast elemental skills on death, for example. But there was an issue where I don't think it's specifically carvers, but it's like one of the you know, Devilkin or imps or something, where they could use the barbarian skill leap, and if a minion jumps because there's no animation for it, it crashes the game. And it's like silly little things like that where there's an unhandled exception and the game just kind of crashes. And it's an old game, it's not something that's good at like saving your progress. So you do just kind of eat shit. It sucks a little bit. But also it doesn't run very well on my computer. The aspect ratio is really squashed and broken and stuff like that. And so it makes it really hard to record as well, because it fucks up my whole desktop ratio, which kind of sucks. We're level 16 now. I think we have space in the inventory, we can keep going. There's two separate rooms with doors next to each other, and I opened the one with the closed door. And there was one with an open door with guys that were going to attack us anyway. I couldn't have done that any worse. Another jewel. Why can't I walk through here? It's weirdly stuck by the tables. Okay. It being magic arrows and them having a light source is like really helpful. But I mentioned in a previous episode when I was doing the Den of Evil that one of the things that, not Den of Evil, the passage, the underground passage. One of the things that the underground passage does really cool is that like your light projected is like actually really important, because there's a lot of skeletons that sit in the dark and you can't see them. And the follower casting True Sight or whatever it's fucking called. That exact spell they just used. What it does is it makes your missiles have a better chance of hitting them, but it also illuminates enemies so you can find them. You can just see them in the dark. Really random niche usage, but it's also really cool design philosophy for you to get that follower in the first act, and the first act to have dark places where that thing in particular helps, and having that skill to do that thing. A thing that you as a character would just kind of never invest in, which I think is kind of cool. Shit, that was a ton of damage. He's gonna kill my follower for sure if she just stands there. But it's right, everyone's shooting at me. I'm supposed to have dodge projectiles. Where are the projectiles I'm dodging? Unique. Devil Bang the Mad. He probably does. Grab these rejuvenation potions. There's a ring. That's pretty good. Okay. We are running a little bit lower on inventory space. I think I've also missed the opportunity to do Heraldric Malice. I don't know that I care that much. We got a Worldstone Shard? Hell yeah. What do I want to use it on? Okay, not that. I guess. What do I want to use it on? I want to use it on something. I can't use it on a jewel, apparently. What if I use it on arrows? Also, the reason why I'm throwing the cube down is because the space for the cube is bugged. And the only way to get stuff out is to throw it on the ground. Let's just go back to town. Let's just do this in a place where I won't actually get shot by people. No, the other guy. Because I can sell a bunch of stuff to you. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. It's not great. $33% gold. That's amazing. That's great. Okay. Put the potion in here. I'll keep this one. I'll put all my gems and stuff in the stash. Because who knows, they might become helpful later. That's what I want to do. I might use it on the socket bow. Still no. I wish I knew what the... It must have to be magic or something. Yeah, what if I use it on my sash? %, piercing attack. I guess that's something. While I'm using magical arrows, it always pierces attack. So it's not very helpful actually. Unfortunate. But I don't know, I like the idea of taking the corruption mechanic from Path of Exile and adding it to Diablo 2. It's probably one of the more interesting things in the mod loader. Because it's technically a new mechanic. It's not something wholly new to the game, it just rerolls parts of things in the game. But it's something that you can engage with as a player. So it is technically a new mechanic. I appreciate that. There's also a new dungeon. If I actually make it to Hell difficulty in Act 5, there's a tower or something. And the tower has 19 levels. And in each level, it's like a different map. So I'm really excited to see what that is. I got kind of close with the assassin, but we'll see. It might be something we can do here. I also think because of the assassin being played like a mage, the options I have for defensive things is kind of lower. Like I can't use life leech. I can use life on kill. Holy shit. I can't use life leech, and if I'm attacking really fast with the Amazon, I should be able to get like a lot of life leech pretty quickly, which might help in my survivability a lot. Which would be kind of good. But I don't have a shield, so I can't block. I'm taking so much damage from these guys. Okay, I don't think that's where I need to go. I think it's this way. Dealing cold damage to stuff now has been pretty good. Also, I think it's one more level on. I can put the rune word on. So I'm looking forward to that too. I should be able to get it at least before Andariel. Because we're getting... Well, we're in the jail. We've still got several more areas to go through yet. And then that will give me a bunch of poison resistance, but I don't know how strong Andariel is gonna be. I'll quickly drink that just in case. Another thing that I think is interesting, and this game does it a little bit as well, and it's a nice parallel to a game design like what Pokemon does, where when you're playing Pokemon, the goal is not for you to fight stuff and for it to kill you immediately. The goal is for you to fight stuff and it drain your resources as you progress through the game. And I use Pokemon as an example because it's the most obvious in Pokemon, where if you're poisoned, you're taking damage over time. If you're taking chip damage from them landing hits on you, your health is down, then you have to use your resources like Potion to be able to recover your Pokemon's HP. But it has other status effects like paralysis, like sleep, which also requires specific and different stuff, right? So nothing you fight is truly trying to wall and kill you, realistically. A lot of the stuff kind of comes close. And then you hit like boss points where they're like, okay, this is supposed to be more of a challenge and is going to try and defeat you. And that's why it's like, this is a gym, you can't just leave and get a free recovery in the middle. You have to, stick it out. You have to spend turns if you want to heal stuff, which is really interesting. And this sort of does a little bit of the same, but it will be like, what's stuff that we can hit you with that will deal small amounts of damage. So like you getting poisoned a lot is a really easy example. It's like Andariel poisoning you, but it's also like, did you invest in this resistance? No, then this might punish you, which I also think is interesting. Duriel slows you down, so unless if your attack speed is not incredibly slow, you might struggle to even attack, and stuff like that. Like looking at what different parts of the character you can cripple in a way, to add to the challenge, I think is really interesting. But like also this is how many scrolls do you have, how many potions do you have, how quickly can you use it in response to getting hit by a giant fireball, how many types of damage can we hit you with, because there's 4 different elemental types, and then there's physical, and then there's raw magic, which has its own resist, but you can't really find it that easily, and stuff like that. Oh, superior. Seems good. And so I think about that kind of stuff a lot, because it's like, what levers do you need for to give the player for them to be able to deal with the kind of stuff that you're going to be throwing at them. And I feel like this game has a good amount of them. I mean, I'm playing a few other games, which are more like gacha games. The one I'm playing at the moment is Ethereal Restart, and it doesn't split into 2 types of damage, like Pokemon does. We have like physical and magical. The easiest way of describing it. I know it's physical and special, but still. And so it's just kind of attack for everyone. And some people will scale damage based on other stats. Like some people will scale damage based on HP or based on defense, which makes sense because it means you don't have to invest in a stat that you don't want to be using if they're a tank or something like that. But for the most part, it's like there's only health, defense, attack, crit rate, crit damage, kind of stuff. And still seeing what kind of options, things that they can add, and what statuses and stuff that they able to apply to the character and stuff like that is really interesting. And so I think about, it's not just like specifically combat systems, but it's like, why have they made the choices that they have made? What challenges is trying to create for me? Because this is a linear game where my character experiences everything end to end, they are able to do stuff that will impact me later on, right? When you're playing something that's a series of skirmishes, like a strategy game, or like a tactics-based game, where you're just like clearing a map, for example, it's really interesting and different because it's just like, I need to set you up for this one particular boss to be challenging, or I need to deal enough damage to do that. Fighting the boss is difficult, or something like that. They can't, you know, interact with you beyond a certain point. I can't make your next battle worse, which is really interesting. So it's like, what can I do in this one to add a challenge to you? Another jewel. I don't even design games with that type, but I just think it's interesting. I think a lot about game design in general, because I like to, I mean, it is the career upon which I built myself. And I like to keep my skills sharp, so to say. Just trying to pick, can't reach that. Sort of reached that. Okay.
I need a key.
So many locked chests in here. Okay, quick inventory check. Let's swap. Couple of identified jewels. We have a slightly better base armor. That might be good for the follower. I'm just giving her all kinds of socketed stuff lately. Yeah, so if I get new jewels, new good defensive jewels, or more rubies or something, I could put them on her. Sure, I'm getting close to the exit now. Another locked chest. Okay, I'm taking hits. Extra strong, I guess that makes sense. I would have loved some health potions. Small charm gold. Extra damage. That's fine. It might be a good one for putting stuff on. What? I swear I saw arrows or something. Yeah, here we go. Here's a hit spawn with conviction. Oh, I just want to go in there and pick up the loot. Alright, club, small shield, some health pots. Alright, very good. This is a dead end. What the hell? Must be over here. This is one of those levels where I always just end up wandering around forever. It should be like all the way back at the start. But that's fine, because the thing that we actually want is XP. It's not really a big deal. But also like it's a YouTube series. The more episodes, the better, right? The longer it takes me to do stuff, the better. Which reminds me, the Ape Escape Let's Play series, at time of recording, is wrapping up soon. By the time this is live, it will be long completed. But I haven't put anything to replace it. I had thought about doing a Crash Bandicoot playthrough, where I play modded Crash Bandicoot. Because I really like community content like that. But it didn't quite work out. Not that I couldn't mod it, it was that if you started a save with it modded, the saves mods would always be the same. You wouldn't be able to change it, which is kind of ass, because it meant that I would have to commit to it, and most of the mods are just skin replacements. And so the gimmick was that I was going to change skins to be the funny skin every episode. And when there's not really any other content in the mods, just having, you know, Crash Bandicoot be Among Us isn't that funny in episode 40 compared to episode 1. So I ended up scrapping it. I did like 2 episodes and was like, oh, actually, this is not. But yeah, I gotta figure out what I want to play next. I had a thought today, and you know why I bring it up. That maybe doing a Game Boy Advance game would be interesting. Because I've played a lot of Game Boy Advance games on the emulator. Just because I prefer playing games at my PC. I'm one of those kind of people that likes to have stuff on the second monitor and following what's going on, and messages open and I'm answering work messages and all that kind of stuff. So I was end up emulating stuff rather than like actually playing on the console, just because it's easier. But then, you know, what do I pick? There's a lot of great games on here now. And I got Retro Arch, and I got a few other random things kind of working, and was trying out a lot of stuff on there, because I needed it to get Ape Escape 1 working. It wasn't working on PSX, which I think was the one I was using for PlayStation 1. I don't know what it is, some weird controller issue, which is like not an issue with the controller, like it reading the inputs issue. Obviously I fixed it. But then trying to figure out what I can do next. I'm not very limited by a console. I could be playing a lot of different stuff. And you know, using it as a study of game design. There's a content creator that I think is very interesting, let's put it that way, called Mapocalypse. And it's just a Let's Play channel. He just Let's Plays games. But the way that he does it is really, really unique, because it feels much more like a study of the game than actually a casually playing through the game. He'll, you know, read a lot of the written notes, a lot of the menus, and all the dialogue and stuff like that. He won't really skip through stuff, even if it's a bit dry. And he'll try to engage with the narrative as much as possible, which is really interesting. A lot of people will just kind of, in a casual playthrough, you don't engage with all of the narrative, you just kind of see some of it based on what you've encountered. And then making an attempt to actually go and see the whole thing and all the little minor parts and side quests and stuff is really interesting. But also in that, he ends up encountering a lot of stuff that feels more like a study of a game than actually, you know, just watching a movie kind of a thing. It's like doing all the required reading and stuff as well, which I think is interesting conceptually, and I wonder if that's more what I should be doing, because I'm playing it, I'm talking about game design, I'm talking about, you know, why they've made the choices they've made, because those things interest me. And so it's like, what game should I play? That would be an interesting study of game design. It would be really cool to like actually play some board game adjacent stuff. I was working on a secret project for a little while where there's a PlayStation 1 game for Yu-Gi-Oh! Called Forbidden Memories, and it's possibly one of the greatest PlayStation 1 games. It's not very much like Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually, because it includes some mechanics that are not present anywhere else in the game, only in that PlayStation 1 game. And the story is kind of disjointed compared to like the actual anime or whatever. And it has this mechanic where you can fuse cards together. And when you fuse cards together, they make new, better, stronger cards. I think you can only do it on the console. You can't really do it in person in the same way. And basically, there's just like this gigantic recipe book of what all the cards could be based on what goes into it and stuff like that. And there's a bunch of mod tools, and I was looking at modding the game, but I just couldn't get it to work. I tried everything. All the documentation is in Portuguese. Whenever I would try stuff, and then even just opening it with the mod tools and then saving it again, it would no longer load. It was just so hard to figure out what was going wrong. They ended up having to give up, but it would have been really cool to go through and do a modded run that way. Yeah, let's go back to the town quick. And make a custom version of the thing, change some of the difficulty stuff, add a bunch of new cards and combos and stuff like that, and then come and play that on the channel, which is the thing that I really wanted to do. But I just couldn't get it working. It makes it really harder to be excited about it. Do I want to keep this? It's got a good defense rating. I think I keep it for my follower. Lightning resist. Gold for monsters is pretty good. I don't need that. I do not currently spend mana. I don't have that much gold. What are you on right now? 27. So this is automatically better. And then I can put extra gold. Didn't I pick up a helmet that had sockets? I did. Give me that. And I'll put the extra gold on that. I guess lightning resist doesn't hurt. But I don't really have anything good to socket for an armor. Well, I can get fire resist too. Well, sign me up, chief. I mean, I could put lightning resist on it, but it's not really worth it. I'm getting a lot of jewels though, which I do appreciate. That gets sold. I'll let you pick that up. Yeah, okay, cool. And when I get actually useful defensive stuff, I can use that. So we're not doing the malice. It doesn't really matter that much. Quick level check. We're at 17. That means I forgot to get my armor. I do lose 20% gold from monsters, which is unfortunate, but
what can I do for you?
I mean, it was a jewel, it was going to be like that anyway. But now I have a little bit faster run walk. That's cool. But 17 is not bad. We're getting kind of close to strafe territory. If I level up again before Andariel, then I'll have Guided Arrow, which is at least a damage boost. But it is a mana hog, so I have to be mindful of that, I guess. There's a lot of guys just here. I'll take the Hawk Helm. The lighting drastically changing is really funny to me. Okay, time to lock in. There's a lot of stuff going on here. We've got Tainted, we've got Dark Ones. I always just go to like name them whatever, the like other different type that I know them to be as. Jesus Christ. Okay, I want to kill the shaman. He's in here. There's a bunch of them. If you just hit him, that'd be great. Ooh, Chaos Wolf the Flayer. Wait. Is that Egyptian hieroglyphics on the walls? I don't remember adding anything like that. Is that normally how it is? I don't remember it ever being like that. Maybe it's normally too dark for me to see it. But I don't think this is a place that's supposed to have hieroglyph. Maybe it's just like a weird pattern. It does kind of look like hieroglyph, right? Have I really just never noticed that before? Stop reviving people! Fuck off! Fucking ice flame. I'm trying to avoid the view. Stop screwing with me. Let me kill all your friends. So many fucking shamans. Fuck. Here's another one. Okay, Grand Charm. Almost missed that. I don't know why it's not. It's got sockets in it. It's got 3 sockets in it. The fuck? Okay. That would have been great to put the extra gold thing in. I have no idea what type. Which of the bonuses it's gonna take. Maybe I just only put jewels in it, because then I would just implicitly know what their outcome will be. Okay, we're now in the catacombs. Oh wait. Everything being a lot faster makes this a bit more stressful than usual. Which I think is a good thing. I think I was taking a little bit too lackadaisically before. Oh, put me on hit stun. Alright, here's a door. There's a guy in it already. Whoa. Champion tainted. I do not like that. Fuck, these... Getting out of Act 1 and not having things be revived anymore. Okay, hang on. Big trouble time. It wasn't just one champion tainted, there was a crew of them. If you could kindly perish, that would be much appreciated. Okay. There's 2 in here. I think they should only be able to revive if they have line of sight. Being able to just cast it on anything in radius is kind of crazy, because it means I have to track them down in a room that I'm not in. I guess it's kind of annoying. Chipped skull. I have to assume that the charm is just gonna take the body armor one. I think that makes the most sense. Just make sure I'm at full health again. Oh. I'm like checking the room to see if there's people in there. When it's just the exit. I did see you, spider. Every game has spiders in it. My aura? My aura on tainted? If you could fucking stop reviving things for like a second, that'd be great. Fuck, I don't want to be in the room because there's things in there that will shoot shit at me. But I don't want to fucking have this guy just revive 1,000 things. It's fucking annoying. Reviving shit in a room that he is not in. Inherently annoying. Okay. They really underplay the spiders. I feel like they wanted the spider cavern for Act 2, and then they were like, wait, this is the only place in the game that has spiders? Surely that's a mistake. Let's put them in the castle, of all things. So, I don't know. Maybe it just felt like hey, we spent all this time modeling the spiders and creating the animation for it. Can you put them in more than one place in the game? I mean, surely you could have put them in Act 5. There's like woods and stuff. Spiders would have made sense being in the woods. More so than the castle. Who let them in? Okay, get another jewel. And a zombie head, I guess. Okay. Using only basic attack for 30 levels. Kinda blows. Because the other attacks just aren't good. Like, magic arrow. I'm already shooting magic arrows. I guess I could be using cold arrow. Wait, the cold arrow is piercing? And always piercing? That's interesting. Because the multi-arrow, or the split one rather, whatever it's called, I think it is multi-arrow, wasn't penetrating. I don't want it if it's low quality. Look, my shit's full anyway. Let's just go sell. Let's just go and sell everything.
Yes.
Good day.
Five to 15. This is not better than what I have going on. 20 poison damage. 18% extra gold. Seems good. That'll have to do for now. Okay, found a waypoint. Wasn't really what I was looking for. Shit. There's so many of them. Oh my god. I accidentally used a health potion. I did not intend to. But that's okay. Okay, there's a boss tainted in there somewhere. Rock Killer the Unholy. Well, he is dead. Thank God. Okay. Moving faster just makes me accidentally run up to stuff that's trying to kill me. Which is really funny. Alright, I think we might level up again before Endario, but that means that we'll be level 18. With only 6 more levels to get until Stray. I'm just gonna ignore them. They're all so annoying. Seethe. Cope and Seethe is true. I really said Dark Ones are annoying, and they in response said Seethe. God damn it. I feel called out. Ring? Ring is interesting. My potions are fine. I'm in a weird dead-end corner. I might just go back to town. This is not the way. There is guys in here. Because I want to have a look at some of the shops for potential item upgrades before fighting Endario. Got the fucking, there we go. Large charm. Is that it? Yeah, cool. It's not the worst idea. Because Chassis might be holding some shit that might be able to help. So let's go back to town. Alright. I also might need to repair my stuff. Yeah, okay. I'll sell first. So I gotta talk to the old man. What do you got? So this is the bow I picked up. It's 5 to 11, which is just not better. This is 3 to 11, which is also just not better. This is 6%. No, it's just 6 poison. I don't know how it's percent. That's just also horrible. Magic damage reduced by 1 is bad. That's kind of it. Alright, show me bows, because you don't have anything better, surely. No, let's look at armor. I still don't have a necklace. The gloves I have are good for Endario because the poison resist. So around 22. It's not hard to get more than that. This is pretty much just for Endario, and then I sell it. And then what have you got? Replenish life, regenerate all skills for 1 million. Cannot be frozen is interesting. You've got resistances. Stats. Deadly strike percent? Oh yeah, actually 10% deadly strike on strafe seems really good. Really good at helping me clear. So I think that's something worth saving up for. That's interesting. Oh yeah, is it in this act? Does Akara have the extra gold find one? Because that might be the good place to start.
The order welcomes you.
What have you got? Magic find, extra gold 10%. So this costs. Oh, I could get this. I should get this. I'm not gonna put it on one of my big ones. I'm putting it on my small one. Where'd you go? Here. %10 extra gold. So more and more and more I stack this, the more extra gold I can get, the faster I can get to the higher gold thresholds that I need for the bigger things. Okay, that's good. That's good. We have another skull. Using the cube to do stuff like trade up lots of gems. It's going to be really annoying if I have to throw the cube on the floor every time. Unfortunately. Potions is fine. Alright, I think everything is good right now. And that is going to bring this episode to a close. I'm pretty happy with how stuff's going so far. I have almost died a few times. There's a few guys that do hit me like a truck, but it's not that bad. And as we start to get more and more gold, it's going to get better and it's going to get easier. So stick around as we slowly eat up some progress lost by getting my assassin killed. And we get a bit closer to the end of the game. Next episode, hopefully going to be Andariel and the beginning of Act 2. It shouldn't be that hard to kill her. I think I'm pretty well prepared. And look, I'm going to put a playlist up on the screen. If you haven't seen any of the episodes at the beginning of the series, you can go and check it out. I did Sorceress first, then Druid, then Trap Assassin. Now I'm on Amazon. And if this is not the most recent episode, you can find that in the playlist if it's up already. So follow along, because I'm hoping things are going to start to get interesting soon. Things are going to start to speed up really fast as soon as I start getting those Amazon bow skills.